Picture this. You're sitting in a meeting. Someone across the room yawns. And then, without even meaning to, your mouth opens wide. You yawn too. Then the person next to you. Then someone at the back of the room. Nobody was tired. Nobody was bored. But one single yawn spread through an entire room like a virus. Why does that happen? And why do we yawn in the first place? The answers are stranger than you think, and scientists are still arguing about one of them. This is Now We Know, where we explain the everyday stuff nobody ever taught you. Most of us assume yawning is simple. You're tired. Your body needs more oxygen. You yawn to take in a big breath. Problem solved. That explanation feels logical. It feels complete. And it has been taught as fact for decades. There's just one problem: it's wrong. Studies have shown that breathing more oxygen does absolutely nothing to stop yawning. You can breathe pure oxygen and still yawn. You can breathe air with extra carbon dioxide and still not yawn more than usual. So if yawning isn't about oxygen, what is it about? And why, of all the things your body does, is this one contagious? You don't catch someone's sneeze just by seeing them sneeze. You don't start coughing because someone nearby coughed. But yawning? One yawn in a room and suddenly everyone is doing it. There's something very unusual going on here. And once you understand what, you'll never look at a yawn the same way again. The most popular theory for most of human history was the oxygen theory. You yawn because your body is low on oxygen and needs a big gulp of air to compensate. It makes intuitive sense. You yawn when you're tired. Tired people breathe shallowly. Shallow breathing means less oxygen. So yawn, problem solved. Except, as we just established, it doesn't hold up under any scientific testing whatsoever. And once researchers ruled that out, they had to start asking a much more interesting question. If yawning isn't about oxygen, what on earth is it actually for? The most credible current theory is something called brain temperature regulation. And this is where it gets fascinating. Your brain, like any complex machine, generates heat when it works. And just like a computer that overheats and slows down, your brain performs worse when it gets too warm. So your body needs a way to cool it down. When you yawn, your jaw stretches wide open. This increases blood flow around your skull. At the same time, you inhale a large volume of cooler air. That cooler air acts almost like a fan, cooling the blood flowing to your brain and bringing its temperature back down. Think of it like opening a window on a hot day. Your brain gets too warm, you yawn, cooler air rushes in, brain temperature drops, performance improves. This explains something you've definitely noticed. You yawn more when you're tired, because a tired brain runs warmer than a rested one. You yawn more in the morning, because your brain temperature rises fastest just after waking. You yawn more when you're bored, because a bored brain is a poorly regulated brain. It also explains something really interesting: yawning is most common in spring and autumn. When the outside air is cool enough to actually cool your brain down. In extreme heat, like the middle of summer, yawning drops off because the incoming air is too warm to help. Your body is smarter than you think. That yawn you've been dismissing as laziness is actually your brain running a cooling system. But this still doesn't explain the contagious part. And that's where things get really interesting. Contagious yawning is one of the most debated topics in behavioral science right now. And the leading theory will genuinely surprise you. Scientists believe contagious yawning is linked to empathy. Yes, empathy. The same ability that allows you to feel what another person is feeling. Studies have found that people who score higher on empathy tests are significantly more likely to catch a yawn from someone else. People with conditions that affect empathy, like certain forms of autism, are far less susceptible to contagious yawning. Even more fascinating, contagious yawning doesn't just happen in humans. Chimpanzees, dogs, and even some birds catch yawns from members of their own species. And here's something that will blow your mind: your dog can catch your yawn. Studies show dogs yawn contagiously in response to their owner's yawning, and almost never in response to strangers. Which means contagious yawning isn't a random glitch in your brain. It's a deeply social signal, a sign of connection, of shared experience, of empathy between living creatures. That yawn you caught from your colleague across the room? It wasn't weakness. It was your brain saying, "I see you. I feel what you feel." And if you yawned at any point during this video, that's exactly why. So next time you yawn in a meeting, and watch it spread around the room, remember what's actually happening. Your brain ran warm. It triggered a cooling system built over millions of years of evolution. A wide jaw stretch, a rush of cool air, a drop in brain temperature. And when the person next to you caught it, that wasn't weakness or boredom. That was empathy, a social bond so deep it exists even between humans and their dogs. You've been yawning your entire life. And it turns out, it was never about being tired. It was about keeping your brain sharp. And staying connected to the people around you. Pretty remarkable for something that lasts 3 seconds and gets you told off in meetings. Drop a comment telling us, did you yawn during this video? Now you know. That's it for today. If this made you think, or made you yawn, subscribe.